Hey folks, and welcome to Owning Cats Alone with Friends, a podcast where people own cats and that's it, and we're cool because of it. My name's Chris.
Interesting title. What up? It's Tud.
That's right. It's 2020 now, and
it is, and we eliminated the weakest link of the podcast.
Right, we did. As they say, hindsight is 2020. So, we look back on this past year and notice that us cat people are just superior beings. So, sorry, Oberts. It's been fun.
Yeah, we had to kick him off.
Yeah,
he's gone forever.
I mean, we kind of outgrew Obert. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I think so. He couldn't meet his New Year's resolution. Kind of tried to sabotage this year's New Year's resolution. So we just had to say, see you later, Obert.
Yeah. Now, the only thing is we need a casting call for a new member of the Drinking Alone with Friends podcast. And I don't know. I'm thinking we reach out to Stone Cold. I think he's up there.
Yep. Chris Jericho also was interested.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Those are the two top people right now. I'm sure there's like some kind of world famous beer drinker.
Well, I also heard that Joe Rogan was interested. He came in as a dark horse candidate last minute and was like, "Hey guys, can I join your awesome podcast?"
Yeah, he really wants like a stepping point to like really launch his podcast, and he knew that this was the right place to do it.
Yeah. So, we have a lot of good candidates, and in the coming weeks, we hope to announce who our new co-host will be.
Right. Yeah. And what's weird is even though we just kicked him off the show, Obert put his hat back in the ring. I don't know why, but
well, I mean, it do be like that sometimes, right?
Right. Yeah. He wasn't quite happy with the pink slip we sent him.
He wants a slightly more pink slip next time.
Right. Exactly. Just dark pink. No, but he is traveling. He's actually like probably right down the road from you, huh, Tud?
I don't know exactly where he is. My Obert tracker is a little bit off today. Kind of running on the fritz. But I do know he is somewhere within the same state as me.
There you go. Okay. That's more than I can say. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. It's going back home to Connecticut when I know, because we just did it a couple months ago, it's like all of your time is already booked. And he was like, God, just do one without me. And I was like, all right, we'll figure it out. So, and then hopefully we're all back to normal next week.
Yeah. And then, also at the same time, Chris and I, we're just like, hey, we can do Drinking Alone with Friend. AKA, right. We also forgot to reach out to other people to join in.
Yeah. I was actually like talking to some folks the other day that are ex-co-hosts or co-hosts. Like Jordan was, I was messaging
let's just call him Gordon.
I don't know. I'm tired.
From now on, his new name is Gorton, like the fisherman.
Gorton the fisherman.
Yep.
That works. Anyways, I was texting Gorton and talking about our Christmases and the rise of Skywalker and stuff like that. And I was totally going to ask him and just completely slipped my mind. So pretend Gorton's here. So
yeah, I mean, Gorton is definitely, he's missed. He's definitely a front runner to replace Obert as a new permanent member.
Yeah, he's like mid-pack, I'd say.
Yeah.
We got some good talent coming in. So
he's ahead of Stone Cold and Jericho and of course Joe Rogan.
Right. Yeah. As a more successful podcaster. Anywho, Happy New Year.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. You survived when you're listening to this, you've survived one whole day of 2020 so far.
I mean, in all actuality, the second is really like the first day.
Right, yeah. Because the first day, you're just like hung over the whole day. So
right. So, welcome to 2020, people.
Now that you're finally awake, welcome to 2020. And what's a better way to celebrate a new year than with maybe a new beer or two or three? So,
how many beers are we drinking?
I'm drinking at least one.
This could, folks, if you guys have heard the podcast in the past when Obert's not here, there's no keeping track of Chris and I when Obert's not here to keep us on task.
Things go squirrely. Yeah. Things go sideways.
So this podcast could be the start of a 4-hour and 10-minute podcast where Chris and I proceed to drink through the entire fridges in our house.
Oh, mine actually just got restocked for Christmas, so because my family just buys me beer now.
Well, I mean, what better way to start cleaning it out than on a 6-hour edition of Drinking Alone with Friends?
Yeah, very true, very true. Our 70th episode, first of 2020. It's a big deal.
And for this episode, we'll be going 24 hours.
There we go. 24-hour stream live on 5 days ago. Wait.
Where you must drink a beer every 30 minutes for 24 hours.
That'd be a bad podcast.
It'd be entertaining for the first 2 hours, 3 hours.
If anybody even listened that long. I don't think they would. I wouldn't. I edit it. I wouldn't even edit it. I would just, here we go. Just take it. Oh, man. So you want to start us off in 2020? Do you want me to go?
I mean, if you're going to give me the honor of starting us off in the new year, I'm obviously going to jump all over that.
Okay, all right. You go then.
So this week I decided to bring a heavy hitter of a stout to the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, and I brought obviously a Bourbon County brand stout. No. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna ask.
I've been on a streak of stouts, so I decided to kind of keep it up going into the new year. And this week I have a Dragon's Milk. It's a reserve oatmeal cookie stout. It's bourbon barrel aged. It's a bourbon barrel aged stout with cinnamon, raisins, brown sugar, oats, and vanilla extract.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It smells amazing. It's 11% ABV, and obviously it's by New Holland Brewing Company, the company that's based out of Holland, Michigan, and they brew Dragon's Milk among other stuff. But it's really their Dragon's Milk beer that puts them on the map.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite stouts. I think is just their Dragon's Milk is just so good.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of their normal Dragon's Milk. I've never had one of these reserve ones, so when I noticed it at the store, I had to hop all over it and bring it to the pod.
Nice.
So, as you can see, it's, and this is for the listeners, I'm going to make sure I describe this in detail. It is dark as night.
Yep, super dark.
There's no seeing through that. Obviously, you guys can see my cool new, or Chris, you can see my cool new mug. It'll be in the picture on Instagram, so go check that out. It is a Dart Frog from Tox Brewing Company, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, so the nose, it just kind of smells like a stout, but with a little bit of oatmeal back to it. So let's take a sip and see what it's like.
Yeah, it's got the nice frothy head on it. Looks really good. So. Yeah.
Oh wow,
it's really bad, guys. Sorry.
This tastes exactly like an oatmeal cookie.
Ooh.
Holy wow!
Nice.
It's like getting punched in the face with cinnamon and raisins and brown sugar. I feel like I just ate a cookie. Like it even has like that cookie aftertaste.
Is it? I was gonna ask. Is it like really, really sweet or?
It's definitely very sweet.
Okay.
On on a scale from where 0 is water and 10 is like licking a sugar cube.
Right. That's the scale I would use.
I would put this probably at like an 8 or a 9.
Oh, okay, so it is. Yeah. I mean, it sounded sweet, especially when you mentioned the brown sugar and tasting like a cookie, but, we got to paint that picture for the listeners.
Yeah, so listeners, picture yourself picking up an oatmeal raisin cookie and then not taking like a small bite, but like shoving the whole thing in your mouth and like chewing it all at the same time.
And then swallowing some water and then like shaking it up in your mouth and like then drinking the oatmeal cookie.
Yeah, that's the beer.
Okay.
You'll also throw a shot of bourbon in there just so you get a little bit of a bourbon aftertaste too.
Oh, there we go.
This is fantastic. I've never, like I said, I've never had one of these reserve beers before, but I don't think I'll ever not buy a Dragon's Milk Reserve when I see one now. This is, I'm extremely impressed.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
sounds really good.
I like my stouts to be super sweet. It's my preference. And this one just has like the right amount of otherness going on with the sweetness. So it's got, some of that oats and some of the raisins on the back end. And I guess raisins are sweet too, but
yeah,
it's good.
Not as sweet as brown sugar.
That's true. That raisins are probably like a 4 on the sweetness scale.
Right.
Brown sugar's like 9.999.
Awesome. That's and did you say the ABV on that thing?
Yeah, it's 11%.
Okay, there you go. All right, so not only is it a cookie, but it's a cookie that can get you drunk. So
yes, yeah. This beer had been aging a little bit too. It was bottled on Obert's birthday. Oh wow, look at that.
April Fool's?
No, his actual birthday.
Oh, okay.
So, cheers to our ex-co-host, Obert.
Right. May his memory is with us. He's haunting us via your beer. So,
well, at least it's a good beer for him to haunt us with, and it didn't turn into a Face Your Beer segment.
Right. That is very, very true. So what would you rate this beer? Like, say on a scale of 0 to 5.
Oh, that's a weird scale to rate off of.
I know.
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay. Right. Very formative.
If it was the new Untapped scale, which hasn't been rolled out yet by 2020, which is interesting, I'd probably give it more of a 4.6, maybe a 4.7.
Oh, okay. So you're a high 4.5.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm in love with this beer at the moment.
Nice. That's awesome. So if you had to guess what the 11,000 check-ins say of this beer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 11. It's pretty stout.
Is this the 2019 version? Or is it the general? Because I got to know what I'm rating against here.
That's just the general. I don't see it broken down on Untapped.
Okay. I am going to say that people... I think people like Dragon's Milk a lot. I'm going to give it a 4.36.
Okay. All right. Not quite that high. 4.16.
Oh, so close.
That's pretty close. Now, my friends' check-ins, I have 3 friends that checked in. It's a 4.55, so it's more on your side. No, Dragon's Milk's really, really good. And I don't know if I've ever had any variants of it either. And I'm pretty jealous of you because it sounds amazing. Sounds like something I would want to drink.
Well, picture like the Imperial Donut Stout from Burial that you've had on here before.
The skillet, yes.
Yeah, the skillet.
Yep.
It's sweet like that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that is a pretty sweet beer. That's a delicious beer too. But that's awesome. That's really good. So yeah. That's Jenna's neck of the woods up there.
Correct. You know what, Jenna? Reach out. I'd be interested in seeing what variants you can get as you live in their brewery's backyard. And by backyard I mean like all the way across the state, but it's still at the same time within the same state.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of Jenna, for those of you that follow our Instagram and saw the live video I did last week sometime.
Oh, you mean on Christmas Eve day?
Yes, Christmas Eve day. So Jenna was nice enough to send me a mix 6 of some beers she had, and I'm gonna drink one that I think is pretty fitting considering the occasion.
Okay.
And that's the Stone Enjoy by 1/1/2020. So.
Well, I feel like that's very fitting. Now, granted, this is the second, and you drank it a day late, but...
Well, I mean, in the fictitious timeline of our podcast, yes, I am late, but in real life, I am drinking this in perfect time.
That is true.
So,
and it's a can, too, which I don't know them to be usually in cans.
This isn't a can, yeah. So, and obviously, Stone is not from Michigan, but I think she got sent these from Stone because she's like a famous beer person now. Clearly too big for our podcast because of how big of a stepping stone we gave her. I mean, that's what I mean. And so she sent this to me, and I was pretty excited by it. I mean, I've had a handful of the Stones in the past, so the Enjoy buys. So I'm curious to see how this one is.
Yeah, as you're getting ready to pour that, and, we know they're going to end up doing a crisp pour. Jenna, this is the perfect time in your life where I feel like you should, appreciate the pod's words of, sending Tud beer to try for Face Your Beers and stuff like that, and seeing if maybe you can get me up to a 5-star rating on a beer. Obviously, as we announced a couple weeks ago, it's a point in your life where you can't really drink much beer for a little bit, so I'd be happy to help out with that. Just send it to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm not going to lie, because, I sent her a 6-pack of beer a little while ago, and I knew she was going to get me back. Now, it is a little suspicious that she gets me back as soon as she becomes pregnant, but,
she sent you the beers that she didn't want.
She didn't want them to go bad. That's my guess. My guess is she's like, oh, I should probably send this out because it's going to go bad.
That is true. Yeah, Jenna, send me out all the beers that are about to go bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jake also drinks beer, but...
Nope, not anymore.
Not anymore. He's, solidarity. if you can't drink, he can't drink, right? No, that's mean. Don't do that.
That would be extremely mean. Jenna, write in. How is that experiment going?
Right in. Is that mean? Right in. Are you mean? Oh man,
we're all over the place, folks.
Yeah, it's crazy. So a lot of citrus on the nose. I like that a lot. Very very good smell. I'm gonna say mango. I don't know. It definitely but it smells very very sweet. So I could pick up something like that. But here we go. Let's see how it is.
So I've had multiple Enjoy buys before. I do make it a point that when I see them, I do buy them. They sell them usually in bottles and bombers, though. So I'm kind of curious to know how this can changes the flavor and your perception of the beer. Because obviously beers taste different out of bottles and cans and bombers and draft and whatever.
Right. So this beer is awesome. It's definitely more, the taste-wise at least, I get a lot more of the West Coast style, like more piney, more of the earthy tones with a pretty harsh bitterness on it. So, as we all know, I enjoy the bitterness quite a bit. So I get a hint of citrus, like a hint of the juiciness, but not nearly compared to the nose. The nose, it smells very very sweet. But the taste is just, a lot of those pines, a lot of pine, a lot of earth.
I thought you had said pond there for a second.
A lot of pond, just, pond water, which is the purest water on earth.
Yes. Nothing purer than some nice pond.
Right. But some pine, and then that pretty intense bitterness that hits you like kind of towards the middle and then finishes out. So I don't know what the IBUs, let me see if it's on the can because I'd be curious. I think we're getting up there. No. Tud, when you look up the Untapped, we're going to have to see what the IBUs are.
Yeah, I'll make sure that I make that a point of informing the audience what that is. Right.
So 9.4% alcohol. This is an unfiltered beer, as all of the Enjoy buys are. And
what would you say that you pick out most for like the fruit notes?
Hold on. I mean, honestly, it's just like, I don't know. I get like a lot of, for me, it tastes like a lot of orange. Maybe a little bit of pineapple, but I don't know. It's pretty bitter, so it's kind of hard to just distinguish what's what in there. I'm sure I could look it up online and cheat, but it's all right. You guys, beer is whatever you want it to be.
That is true. If you want it to taste like starfruit, you let it taste like starfruit.
That's right. But no, it's a very, very good beer. I'm gonna give this a 4.25.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I would definitely suggest everybody go get it. And I have had the Enjoy buys before, but I think this one kind of like reinvigorated like a spark in me. Like I think I want to try and get them more often now. So
yeah, they go through a lot of different variants. For those of you who don't know much about this beer, sometimes they're and sometimes they're really good, as Chris is describing his current experience. I've never had a bad one, but there have been some that have been okay. I can drink a 6-pack of this. It's not that I want to, but it's not bad enough for me to say I'm not drinking this.
Right. Yeah.
My favorite one was I think from like April of like 2018, where it was like a tangerine flavored. It honestly tasted like a treehouse beer. It was fantastic.
You say that. I think I may have had that one. I'd have to go back into the Untapped, but that sounds so familiar, like a tangerine flavored Enjoy buy.
I believe I brought a few bottles to your house at the time.
All right, that makes a lot of sense.
Because I was obsessed with the beer.
Yeah, because that sounds so familiar that, but no, very solid beer. I'm very happy with it. If you're more of a juice bomb kind of guy, I probably wouldn't get it because it is very, very bitter. But I'm gonna guess it's like mid 80s IBU. That's my guess.
So do you want to give an actual number?
Okay, I'm gonna go 80. No, I'm gonna go 82. That's my guess. And I'm going to go with 4.07 average on Untapped.
Okay. So out of 14,000 check-ins.
Oh, holy shit.
You were oh so close. 4.02 for the rating.
Ah, damn it.
But the IBUs are 94.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's extremely high and extremely bitter.
Yeah, I knew it was high, but I've been fooled before, so I almost went over 90, but I was like, I don't know. So
Now, for those listeners out there who have had a lot of beer, Julius, for example, is a 72 IBU. So this is much, much more bitter than a Julius or a Haze.
right, yeah, those to me are like definitely a little bit more. They're definitely more juicy in my opinion. I mean, they're not the juice bombs that you get sometimes, but they're definitely more palatable. And for those of you, we talk about IBUs a lot, and I don't know if we've ever talked about what they are. I'm not sure. So just real quick, for those of you that may be beer newbies,
hey, look at this,
as we like to call them, boobies.
This is a good beer knowledge minute. Brought to you by Chris.
Yeah, because I mean, we talk about IBUs, and I talk about how I love my bitters and all that stuff. But it's an IBU is an international bitterness unit, and it's simply just a gauge on the beer's bitterness. And the technical terminology or the technical description is it measures the parts per million of isohumulone found in a beer. So that's the acid that's found in the hops that gives the beer its bitter taste.
So you are a humulone fan.
Yes, the isohumulone fan right here. I have many T-shirts that say that. So, for those of you that hear us talk about that kind of stuff, that may not know, I mean, I didn't even know what isohumulone was until I just read it online, but I just knew it meant, this is a bitter beer, this isn't a bitter beer.
I mean, that's basically what people need to know is that the higher the number, the more bitter it's going to be. When you drink a beer such as like a Dragon's Milk, for example, the IBU is super low. On this beer that I'm currently drinking, the IBU is registered at a 0.
Right.
And then
which kind of tracks because you said it was super sweet.
Yeah, and and with most stouts and with most porters, your IBUs are going to be 0. It's really when you get into the IPAs that's the number you want to look out for, especially if you're not a fan of bitter beers. You kind of want to steer more towards like the 70 range of IBUs. IPAs can get up to 100
over 100, yeah,
140 IBUs and be super, super bitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's part of for the longtime listeners. Our friend, co-host Jenna, who gave me this beer, and thank you, Jenna. It's very delicious. I'm saying, Jenna, you would not like this beer because she is not a fan of the bitter beers. So she's probably pretty glad she gave it to me, and should send me all the rest of them too. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, besides the one that she sends to me.
I mean, she could save one for our new co-host, whoever that may be. Which I just got a fax because that's how we do business here. Well, that's part of. And
who's it from?
Ben Affleck has thrown his name in the ring. I don't know why.
Oh well, I mean, obviously he's always wanted to hop into podcasting.
That's true. Yeah. So we'll add him to the pool of candidates. Let us know, dawfpodcast@gmail.com, who you want to be the new third member of this podcast.
Yeah, easily. I mean, it could be anybody, just not Oberts.
Yeah. Yeah. If you write in saying that you want Obert back, then maybe we'll consider giving him his job back. But
so Chris, over the weekend, I went brewery exploring.
Ooh, brew exploring. It's one of my favorite things to do.
It is a very, very time-honored tradition of going out and finding new breweries around you. Taste the fruit of their labor and the flavor of their beer, as the saying goes.
Yeah. So where'd you end up going?
So at first, as followers our Instagram know, I went to the 12% Beer Project down in North Haven, Connecticut. We've talked about 12% Beer Project before on this podcast, but for those of you who don't know, it is basically a beer collective of sorts where people can rent out tank space or breweries can rent out tank space at this location and basically brew massive quantities of their beer and then have it canned and distributed out to retailers. That way they can, distribute Connecticut, surrounding areas. I mean, hell, even all the way down to Florida and North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah.
Chris has seen some 12% Beer Project beers down there.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you can go in there on certain days and you might get a beer from 18 different breweries depending on how many beers they have on tap. So while we were there, we definitely tried a lot of different beers. They had 7 breweries on tap, some of which I had never heard of, and others which are time-honored Connecticut favorites such as Evil Twin and Fat Orange Cat.
Nice.
Omni Polo was also on tap.
Omni Polo's great.
Yeah, tons of different breweries, tons of different beers and breweries. 12% Beer Project happens to be, it seems to be like the main United States location for Omni Polo to brew their beer, which is really cool for them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know I've had a few Omni Polo beers now, and now whenever I see them in a store, I always buy them because what was it, the Hilma you got a long time ago?
Yeah, with the milkshake, burgers and fries IPA.
Right. Yeah, which was a Face Your Beer segment if you go all the way back, because we drank 3 cans that were like 1 billion years old. Anywho, just start at episode 1 and keep going till you find it, and then just continue going for 70 episodes. But yeah, so after that beer, I'm just like, any Omni Polo I see, I always pick up, and it's always 12% Beer Project, which is so cool.
Yeah, and it's they also do that with another international company now, or international brewery called Dugges or Dugges, Dugges. Don't ask me how to say that. I'm going to call them Dugges.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I happen to have their chocolate chip stout, and I posted a picture of it up on our Instagram, and that beer was fantastic. You talk about this New Holland beer tasting like a cookie. That one also tasted like a cookie, but a chocolate chip one.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's more of a cookie beer weekend, apparently. And on top of that, I was able to go explore the Jumpstart Brewery of the Year in Connecticut called Tox down in New London. It's on Broad Street, and the logo is what's on my mug. It's a dart frog, and that is because Tox is run by a toxicologist who works for Hartford Hospital currently, and his name is Dane, and he's a toxicologist, so his entire brewery is toxicology themed, including, poisonous dart frogs and people with gas masks, and everything is toxicologist themed, including down to the glasses that are served, that your beer is served to you in the brewery, are little beakers.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Cool. I didn't realize that was I didn't know why they called it Tox. Obviously, I'm not part of the brewery at all, but I just assumed it was like toxin or something, whatever. I don't know, because of the poison dart, whatever. So, but I've heard nothing but great things about their beer and about the location and everything. So, can you confirm?
I can. So yesterday was my first time ever going there, and I can confirm that the rumors are true. They make a great beer. Their IPAs are fantastic. They had a pecan porter called it's called a pecan, actually. So either way you pronounce it, somebody can say it's pronounced the other way.
Right.
They had that brewed with Little House Brewing, which Obert and I have both talked about on this podcast.
That's also a good spot.
Another great brewery. Everything that Tox did was great. I mean, I feel like they have a little bit of help, obviously, because Dane is a toxicologist, so he's really good at chemistry. So that really helps when, brewing beer.
Right.
But overall, a great spot. I mean, it's a small little location right off of Broad Street in New London, right next to Iliano's, for those of you who are familiar with the area. And, just stay tuned, because I have a feeling that there may be an upcoming future interview with Dane to be broadcast right here on this podcast, as well as some special beers that may be coming along from this brewery as well.
Nice. Yeah, I remember their Kickstarter, like, I don't know, what, a year and a half ago now? A year now? I don't remember. And it was like, I don't know, got funded in like 2 seconds. It was crazy. I debated joining that. It would have been like, I think you would have been part of like their growler club, where it was like $500 and you get growlers for life. And part of me is always, that's not a bad deal.
Right. Part of me is always worried about doing that, because you never know if the brewery is going to stick around.
Right.
And you've never had their beer.
That's true.
Having had their beer yesterday, I would have felt more supremely confident in giving them $500 than I did back then. So that's my mistake. Dane, please forgive me. I know that Dane is also now a listener of this podcast. So, hi, Dane.
What's up, Dane? I'm the cool one,
aka the non-cool one.
Look at me.
Hey, Dane, if you're interested in being a co-host,
oh, yeah.
Send us an email, dawfpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Yes. We're taking applications. Oh, we're getting another fax in. Oh, it's Dane. Yeah, he heard that right away.
Oh, wow.
He just knew.
Days in the past.
Yeah, he's on top of it. That's how they get good beer. They're just on top of it. So that's awesome. Yeah, we're talking about trying to do some brewery hopping because we haven't done it in. I don't think I've been brewery hopping since your bachelor party, to be honest.
That's a lie.
Is it?
You just lied to all the listeners.
Oh no, because I've seen you since then, huh?
We went brewery hopping when we were down there in October.
Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. So since then, though, I don't think I've been to a brewery since then. So.
Well, it's almost like you have like a small child or something.
I know. Well, he's not small anymore. He's 2 years old now. It's crazy.
It's still kind of small.
Yeah. Nah, he's a beast. Yeah, CJ's birthday was yesterday for those listeners. So December 28th, he turned 2. And
happy birthday, CJ.
Yeah.
I know you can't listen to this podcast, but happy birthday.
No, 20 years from now or 19 years from now, he might listen to this podcast when we're on episode, I don't know, however many episodes that is.
15 billion
something. And yeah, so it was his birthday, and I baked a cake and all that fun stuff, and he got covered in frosting. So it was a lot of fun. He's 2 years old, and it's unbelievable. Having kids is weird. Kids are weird. We got him this house for Christmas, this like little playhouse. It's got a door and a couple windows and things like that. And last night, he was like going in the door, closing it, and then opening the window, and then going headfirst out the window, and then flopped onto the ground, closed the window, and then ran around to the door again, opened it, and then just kept doing that until he wore himself out.
Well, he was practicing escaping in the event of a fire.
That's probably good. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of ventilation in this thing, so if it did catch on fire, it'd go up in flames. So, you know.
Yeah, he's just practicing. He's making sure that before he becomes really comfortable, he has all his exit strategies planned out and practiced accordingly.
I'm currently sending you a Snapchat of said house. This does not help the listeners at all, but I'm going to send it to Obert too.
Were you just going to rub in his face that he's no longer part of this?
I'm actually going to send it to anybody who should be listening to our podcast. So if you get this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then that's on you, for those of you that are listening.
Oh, wow, that's a big house.
Yeah, it's a very big house. Yeah, we go all out.
I could also see how you would say that there's a lot of ventilation. He just needs to make sure that each one of those windows is escapable.
Right. So I think because it's 2020, new year, new show, two co-hosts, I think we need to change it up a little. Everybody's missing more beer.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think we're thinking the same thing, and that is, I think we're going to do some bonus beers.
Dual beers.
Dual beer episode. 2020 stands for 2 hosts, 0 Oberts, 2 beers, 0 Oberts.
You know what 2020 really annoys me with? Is that because there's 2 zeros, but they're not next to each other, you can't have the glasses that are the 2 OOs with your eyes in between them.
That's very true.
Unless you want to put a 2 like randomly in the middle of your forehead.
Right. That's very true. Yeah. But anyways, so we're going to do some bonus beers. And I'm going to lead off this time.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I let off first, so you should go now.
And I have a special treat because I know you had this beer not that long ago, and that is the 2019 Mad Elf.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
where did you find? You found it in a can as well.
Yeah.
Where are you finding all these canned beers?
They send them straight to me. No, so we had family come to town, and like I said, everybody knows I like beer pretty clearly.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever had a beer before?
Oh wow, that's not what I expected.
Get ready for a treat.
I've had a beer a time or two in my life, and but they were like, they asked like the people in the package store, like, my son-in-law likes beer, what should I get him? And just basically grab whatever they want. And they just so happened to grab like a Trogs holiday mix pack, which was pretty awesome. Huh. So yeah, so I feel like I should have brought it on since you reviewed it just the other day, gave it a pretty good review, and looks beautiful in my new Yoda glass. It's like nice clear red hint to it. It smells good. It does smell. I get a lot of that Belgian style smell, that stereotypical Belgian smell, which, as everybody knows, I'm not really the biggest Belgian fan, but
I can tell you to put your worries to ease.
Okay. My worries are being eased.
It does not taste like that strong Belgian smell.
So let's see. I'm very curious. I mean, you made it sound so good, and I remember I've had older variations of it. So let's see how it is.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to know what your thoughts are about this beer as compared to the other variations you've had. Mikey, I think he likes it.
No, I do. It does have a little bit of the Belgian aftertaste, but it's not terrible. It like definitely gets mellowed out very, very, very nicely. Yeah, definitely a lot of that. Well, how'd you just like plum, like a plum kind of flavor to it?
It's a stereotypical Belgian flavor.
Yeah, nice and smooth, nice and clean. Yeah, it's a very solid beer. I'm trying to think if I can get some of the other hidden notes because.
Can you taste the honey and the cherries?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting it now. I think I had to get past the aftertaste, the Belgian, you know. But no, that last sip definitely got both of those things. It's really nice. I mean, the honey is like it keeps it nice and sweet, but it's subtle enough where it's not like overpowering. And then I get the cherries more towards the back end than I do anywhere else. That's just me. And it's a very, very solid beer. I'm very, very happy about it. You asked, and I do remember having a Mad Elf in the past that I thought was okay. I didn't think it was like out of this world. I would have to go back on Untapped and find out the variant and all that stuff. But this one's very good. Very, very pleased with this one.
I'm excited.
So Tud,
see?
Yeah, Tud, you did a good job. Did a good job picking up this beer. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay. I gave it a 4.25.
Yeah, which is very high considering of its Belgian heritage for me. But who knows? Maybe all this beer drinking has really started to change my beer palate, and I'm starting to enjoy more of the Belgian stuff. I mean, it happens. So we'll see. But very good beer.
Awesome.
So thank you, Santa.
And as we all remember, the Untapped rating was a 3.88.
Right.
So unfortunately, we can't give you that trivia because you would already know it, and that's just not fair.
Right. Actually, I did not remember, but that's fine. So that's my quick bonus beer, and I think Tud, you need to hold up your end of the other part of the 2020.
Yes. So my beer, I went into my fridge quickly and I grabbed the beer called Dogtooth Violet, an American Wild Ale by Trillium Brewing Company.
Sounds awesome.
Yes, so I decided to go full opposite dichotomy between a really heavy 11% ABV milk stout to a 6.2% American Wild Ale to just really throw my palate for a loop. And as you'll see, it's in my cool Christmas Charlie Brown glass.
Oh, that is cool.
Guys, go check out the Instagram. Not Thursday when this drops, but Tuesday. My other day on the Instagram, and you guys will see a picture of the Charlie Brown glass.
Yes.
So, nose for this beer, I get a lot of lemon. You could definitely smell the tartness. Maybe a little bit of green tea. Yeah, I think those are the two flavors I get is, lemon and some green tea. Let's see how it tastes.
Yeah. I mean, you had me at Trillium, so.
So definitely not as sour as I expected it to be. Based on the smell of the lemon, I was expecting something like really, really, really tart. And this is more subdued tart. More of like a Saison-ish, I guess, if you had to compare it to something. I get a lot of lemon, but not like powerful lemon. Maybe like lemongrass, I guess, is the more like subdued lemon.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of not a lot of fruit besides the lemon, and a lot of floralness. So a lot of plants, maybe even some lavender, I think.
Is lavender a drinking thing? That doesn't. I mean, I guess you could.
I feel like when I breathe out, that's the flavor that my mouth tastes. It's like what lavender smells like when it's in the air.
Oh, so it's like a breath freshener as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, you got to smell good after you drink some beer, right?
Right. So everybody around you, so the cops won't know you've been drinking beer. They'll be like, perfect. This guy just eats lavender or something.
Yeah, exactly. I just take out some lavender from the lavender bush and I chew on it.
Nice. Awesome.
Obviously, it's really light. It kind of looks like a Bud Light.
It does. It's very, it could
very
be
yellowy and fizzy.
Could be a Bud Light from, I didn't see the can, so.
I mean, for all we know, it is a Bud Light. I mean, that's what I'm just describing, like random flavors that somebody's gonna be like, that wasn't what I thought it tasted like.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what beer's all about. It's pretty it's up to your interpretation. Well, it's not, but it is. I'm not going to bash anybody for thinking what they know. Not everybody has a distinct palate like Tud does. Clearly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you hear me give a review every week, and I'm like, it's good. I don't know. tastes like fruit and grass. So
fruit and grass.
Fruit and grass is my favorite beer.
I don't think this is my favorite Trillium beer. I'd probably give it maybe a 3.75. It's still good. In full disclosure, they were $2 a bottle. So
hey,
for $2 a bottle, it's a great beer.
That bumps it up a half point at least.
Delicious beer. 3.75, not my favorite. I wish it was a little bit more sour. Given that it's Trillium, I would imagine that Untapped is a lot higher than me. Probably, I'm going to say 4.17.
Okay, well, you'll be surprised. Out of the 1454 check-ins, it's only a 3.79, so they were like right on track with you.
Maybe I overjudged the people of New England.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe. But, I mean, I don't know. Wild ales to me, I know there's because you said it was a wild ale, right?
It is it's an American wild ale.
Yeah, so for me, they're definitely of the sour, like, genre of beers, but they're not like, I don't consider them like one of the like true sour beers, because they're always, I don't know, I haven't had many wild ales that are like, oh man, like pucker your lips kind of sour. I mean, I love them, they're very good, but I don't.
That's what I'm going for when I'm looking for a wild ale, is something that make my lips pucker, like a warhead.
Yeah, not so much me. I mean, I like my sours, but I mean, I like my sours fruited. The gozes are growing on me, so that's good. But no, I like my wild ales, my saisons, and all that stuff. That they're all really good.
Awesome.
But anywho, that was our very special Obertless second beer review.
Next week when Joe Rogan's joining us, we won't be able to review 4 beers.
No, we'll probably be able to review like 80 because he talks for 5 hours, but
that is true. I mean, be prepared for a lot longer episodes of Drinking Alone with Friends.
Right. But we still want to keep some traditions alive, and that includes our slightly mangled frosty mug of wisdom. This is
now it's just a dual handle.
Yeah, this is the first mug. We've dropped it before, and a handle has broken off, but we keep it in this rare scenario where there's only 2 hosts.
Right, when we're between co-hosts.
Yeah, currently ISO co-host. But we wanted to give you our life advice, life tips and hacks and tricks and, Pokemon shiny hunting methods and bad, good movies, I guess, or something. So
everything that Obert was grumpy about, we can now do.
Right.
The world is ours.
But anyways, Tud, do you got something to kick us off with this week, or?
Yeah, so I'm going to do something that's been long in the making. And at first it was going to be a video game review, and then I was going to stretch it into 2 weeks and really piss Obert off and make it also a TV show review. But at the same time, you know what? Now that it's a little bit later, I'm just going to loop them all into one, and my handle this week is going to be The Witcher series in general.
Okay.
If anybody doesn't know, The Witcher is a book series, a Polish book series that came out in like the 90s, I think. So go read those. Then they also came up with a series of games, The Witcher, The Witcher 2, and The Witcher 3. You can buy The Witcher 3 for all current consoles and PC. Witcher 1 was only available on PC. Witcher 2 is on all game consoles like 360, PS3, like that generation. Great Games. I've read one of the books. It's a good book as well. And as of Friday December 27th, the Witcher TV series premiered on Netflix.
I did see that. I saw that it got released. I haven't seen it yet.
So the series show stars Henry Cavill, and if you guys don't know who that is the guy who played the most recent Superman in the Justice League movies. He was fired from being Superman, but now he plays Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher in the Witcher series. Henry Cavill is a huge video game fan, so this is a role that he really pushed for. In fact, there's a rumor going around that when he received the phone call to say that he had won the job as Superman, he actually sent the call to voicemail because he was in the middle of a World of Warcraft raid.
That's awesome.
So he huge fan of the video game. He studied the games repeatedly to get the voice down for Geralt from the video games into the show. It kind of jumps around a little bit. It almost follows the first book of stories called The Last Wish. I recommend people go watch it. It's awesome. If you guys like Game of Thrones, it's something that would definitely be up that alley. It's going to take a little bit to get used to because in Polish fiction, like their main characters don't really show a lot of emotion. The rest of the world has a lot of emotion and detail, but the main character doesn't tend to. So his character's a little dry, but the world is just absolutely fantastic. So my handle this week is The Witcher, a whole as a series, video games, books, and TV show.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't played The Witcher. I feel like I'd like it because I know me.
You would love it. If you like Skyrim.
Right, and I love Skyrim.
But you always wanted to have a better story, that's The Witcher.
Yeah. I'll play it one day, but I don't know when.
You could play it on your Switch.
I could play it on my Switch, but how am I going to play Pokemon if I'm playing The Witcher? Do you even think about that?
Yeah, you download The Witcher off the eShop. That way you can play both Pokemon and The Witcher at the same time.
There we go. We're talking. No, but I was intrigued by the show, so maybe I'll check out the show. That'll be my gateway into into The Witcher, because I can watch a show and play Pokemon at the same time.
I think what people have to know about it if they're going to go watch the show, just like you, is that he plays it's fantasy land, but The Witcher is a monster hunter, where basically their entire life journey is to hunt monsters, and they have slightly magical abilities, and they're slightly better fighters than everybody else around them. That's only because they go through like a trial and tribulation of becoming a Witcher.
Okay.
They really only exist to make money. They're like mercenaries.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, Chris, with that, what is your handle this week?
So mine is also, mine's a TV show. And
The Witcher.
It's The Witcher again. It's the show that I want to watch. No. But it's a TV show that I thought of today while I was at work, and I hadn't thought of it in a while. And it's called The IT Crowd, or The It Crowd. I don't know if you've ever seen that on Netflix or anything like that. It's a British comedy about there's like two guys that are like your stereotypical like nerdy IT folks, you know, like one's super nerdy and the other one's like this like guy who like wears sweatpants to work and stuff like that. And the entire show is them working, and they get a new boss, and the boss knows nothing about IT. She like lies on her resume and stuff like that, and it's pretty funny. Very dry humor in parts. A lot of like really stupid jokes, which I enjoy, of course. And there was one part. I won't ruin the whole thing, but I was texting other co-hosts of the pod, Dan, about it because we've joked about it in real life before, but about a fire, a certain fire that happens, and it's just a very, very funny show. It was on Netflix last I looked, but I haven't looked in a while. So,
well, let's pull up a prior handle of the pod, the app Just Watch, and type in The It Crowd.
There you go. The It Crowd, or IT. I always call it the IT Crowd. Other people call it the It Crowd. I don't know.
It is fully, all 5 seasons are available on Netflix.
There you go. Boom. But it's a great show. If you like British comedies, and you like, well, pretty much if you like British comedies, you're going to like this show. Very funny. And a lot of the bits and a lot of the stuff they talk about is like just really, really good. So, I suggest checking it out.
It stars that dude.
Yeah. That guy.
It stars Chris O'Dowd, which he was, if you guys have ever watched Bridesmaids, he was the love interest of the main character of Bridesmaids.
Yeah, that guy. Is that like
have you not seen Bridesmaids?
No, I haven't seen Bridesmaids.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, no, what is that?
Wait a second, time out. You haven't new handle of the pod. We're gonna slap a quickly glassed handle onto this mug.
Get the Gorilla Glue.
You haven't watched Bridesmaids?
No, what is it, a movie?
Yes. It stars like Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne. Terry Crews is on there. Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't seen Bridesmaids.
Nope, haven't seen it.
Okay, well, Chris, by the time you and I meet back up for the next episode of Drinking Alone with Friend, I'd like you to go watch Bridesmaids right now.
Okay. Is it on Netflix?
No, so it's available on HBO Go, HBO Now.
Okay, I got that. All right.
Okay, so go watch it immediately, like tonight. It's one of the funniest movies to come out in the past decade. It's up there when you think of like funny movies like Superbad and Knocked Up and those, like it's in that same vein.
Okay.
It's a Judd Apatow film. It's fantastic. Go watch it immediately. You will probably piss yourself laughing.
Okay. All right. I'll add it to the list. And we'll throw all those in the show notes as well. So if you're like me and you haven't seen Bridesmaids, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, I can't believe. Wow. Like, I know you don't watch a lot of movies, but like that's one that like, wow. Jason, right into the only 2-person use DAWF podcast at gmail.com and let us know your opinion on Bridesmaids. I have a feeling that you like it.
Okay. Hey, listen, I don't see movies. I'm like, I haven't even seen Toy Story 4.
I haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet either.
I'm waiting for it to hit Disney Plus.
It will probably soon.
Yeah, I think they're saying like February, so it's not that far.
So with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. Chris and I would like to thank the breweries that provided today's beers. First, I will thank New Holland Brewing Company for our Dragon's Milk Reserve Oatmeal Cookie Stout. And I will also thank Trillium Brewing Company for their Dogtooth Violet American Wild Ale. I
would like to thank Stone Brewing Company for their Enjoy by 1/1/20. And I'd also like to thank Jenna for shooting it out this way. And I'd also like to thank...
Jenna, where's my beer?
I'd also like to thank Trogs for their 2019 Mad Elf. And I'd also like to thank Santa Claus for bringing this to me.
We can always thank Santa.
Always.
Please make sure you're going on all social media and following us at DAWF Podcast. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untapped. Also, make sure you guys are going and hashtag following the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. We want to know your thoughts. Obert's not here anymore, so definitely send us all your general thoughts, your concerns, who you think our next co-host should be. Should it be Joe Rogan? Should it be Obert again? I mean, should we just bring him back and just kind of suck it up and have to deal with that? Also, what are you doing when you guys listen to this? I want to know. I'm actually quite curious what our listeners are doing when they're listening to this podcast. Are you sitting at work? Are you taking a poop? I mean, we want to know. Just let us know.
Yeah. What are you doing right now? Are you pooping? Are you not pooping? Those are the only two things we want to know.
Pooping or not pooping? Yes or no?
We want to know pooping or not pooping.
Just send an email with Y or N.
Right. And we will know.
Make sure you're going on to Patreon and subscribing for as little as $1 a month. You get a whole bunch of extra content. We are going to be populating a lot of that this year in 2020 now that we have a dedicated podcast editor that we didn't have before.
Well, I mean, we had one, but he was working a lot, so now he's not working as much.
Yeah, now he's basically retired.
Yeah, I'm partially retired now, which is awesome, but it just gives me more time to focus on doing that kind of stuff and, getting back into the Instagram game because I've been bad and all that fun stuff, but it'll get better in 2020.
And then also make sure you guys are going on to iTunes and giving us a rating. Doesn't matter whether it's 1 star, 5 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, or 4 stars. Whatever, however you think we're doing, give us a rating. Let us know how you think we're doing. If you hate us, let us know what you think. I mean, leave a comment. Say, you guys suck. Tell us why. We'll try to improve. If you love us, go on there, give us a 5-star rating, and tell us why you love us. We'll make sure that we keep on doing that. And if it's too long to stick in there, send us an email. I mean, it's the best way to get in touch with us. We're a very interactive podcast. Get out there and let us know.
Yeah. I was actually just about to say, I'm like, it's been 70 episodes and now spanning 2 years. Well, 3 calendar years pretty much of this podcast. And the folks that have listened for all 70 episodes and dealt with our poor quality and our, lazy episodes and whatever it may be. And, still reach out and say, we've gotten like Merry Christmases, Happy Holidays, Happy Birthdays, like from all these folks. And it's awesome. Like, and of course, like we made a lot of friends like Jenna and Jordan and Elle and Mark and Brandon and like all these people that are just awesome. So thank you all very much. We're glad that you listen, and hopefully you continue to listen. Tell everybody that you listen, because we do love making the podcast and we love drinking beer. So, luckily,
despite the fact that we had to lose a co-host in the middle of it.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? We'll see. He might come back, but on probation.
Yeah, and one more thing you guys can do to really help us, and I know that, this is kind of a longer episode. It's just two guys sitting around, drinking beer. Share this podcast with your friends. If you guys are listening this long, A, you either really like us, which we all know that's not the case, or B, do you guys really like beer? And you guys want to hear what, people talking about different beers from around the country actually think about the beers. Share it.
Right.
Go on Facebook, hit the little share button, and share it to your friend group. Because I'm sure you guys are friends with other beer lovers. Same thing with Instagram. Just share it, tell your friends, spread the word. If you guys need stickers, send us an email. We'll send you out stickers so you guys can stick them up at your local breweries. I mean, just get the word out there. I mean, we're a small little podcast that talks about beer. I know that, niche podcast, niche interest, but at the same time, it's one of the fastest growing segments of the market today. So just help two guys out. Don't help Obert out. Forget him. But help these two guys out. So with that, to start 2020, my name's Tud.
My name's Chris. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
Woohoo! Woo! Take that, Obert.
Yeah, that's right. We can do a podcast without you.
Yeah. He left saying that we would never get the ending right.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like our ending was awesome.
Yeah, best
Air high five.